When buying a new gaming system, the first question that you might ask yourself is, will I play this enough to justify the price? When I bought the original Steam Deck, I played it for a few days and then I never picked it up again, so I returned it. Fast forward to the OLED version of the Steam Deck, I was determined to try again. A 90 Hz OLED screen, I mean, who can resist that? So I want to make this video for those of you guys like me that are either on the fence, you sold it before, you've been thinking about picking one up, maybe you want to upgrade. This video is for you. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. They changed the screen from an LED screen to an OLED screen. The colors just pop off the screen and the blacks are true blacks, bringing out even more detail in your game. They made the screen bigger by 0.4 inches while keeping the footprint of the Steam Deck the same. Even though the screen on paper is only slightly bigger than the original, it gives you the illusion that the device is a whole lot bigger than the first version. Although they did increase the screen, the weight does drop by 20 grams. The biggest complaint of the original Steam Deck, myself included, was the 60 Hz screen, especially when you're paying a premium for this device. The screen is now 90 Hz, making motion look more fluid, again immersing you into the experience that is the Steam Deck, and thus altering your perception of time, leading you to play longer and avoid your responsibilities. Oh, and there's also HDR for you HDR enjoyers out there. I'm not really one of them. Played the Steam Deck for longer because I was so immersed in the games. This is the reason why I decided to keep the Steam Deck this time around, because I was playing it for longer periods of time because I was just so immersed into the games. And at the end of the day, you won't want to put this device down. You'll be playing it till you go to sleep. Kind of like back in the day when you bought your first Pokemon game and Game Boy. You'd be playing it all day till your parents had to rip it out of your hand and give you your homework. In the original review, I said that the buttons felt loose on the device, and it stays true here on the OLED Steam Deck. I'm a little disappointed there, but it's minor in everyday use. They, however, have made some improvements to the joysticks. They're slightly deeper and use a rubber material where your thumbs rest instead of a matte plastic like on the original that felt a little bit slippery after a while. Again, the more you can just pick up your device and just forget about it and not feel like you're slipping all over the place, the more you're going to be immersed into your game. It feels so much better controlling your games with these joysticks than the previous model. The D-pad is the same and the haptic pads have improved slightly. Steam Deck doesn't get as hot due to its new, more efficient chip that they put in there, so you won't be cooking up your thighs while you're gaming. And not only that, the chip actually affects the battery life as well. I'm getting about double the battery life that I did with the original Steam Deck, which I got around an hour and something and some change. And then on this one, I'm getting 2 hours and some change. And that is on the high performance mode. If I drop it down, of course, that number is gonna go up. And this is a big deal. And I can see a lot of people outside of just the screen upgrading just for that increased battery life. Storage wise, I went with the 512 gigabyte version. I thought about going 1 terabyte, but it's not needed. In my opinion, I don't have that many games. And honestly, I don't think you need to go up to the 1 terabyte because how many games are going to be playing all at once anyways? I mean, I know you can have a vast library on here, but are you really going to be keeping every single Steam game you own on this device and play 20 games per week? No, you're going to be playing 1 to 2, 3 games, 4 games. 5 games, even that's a lot. Back to the beginning of the video, I said that I returned my original Steam Deck, which I did. I'm using my friend's Steam Deck for this video, but I returned mine, and mainly it was due to the games that I was playing. I was just using games from my original Steam account instead of actually buying games made for this device. Like the Switch, right, it has an unfair advantage. Nintendo's Nintendo, they're making games for the Switch, and thus we need games that are for the Steam Deck. Now, there are great titles, and the beauty of this device is that we can play any game from Steam on here. For the most part, most of the games work or are getting adapted for the Steam Deck. There are certain games that I just feel like translate better to this type of device. So this time I went on my way to buy 2 new games with this device, and those are Hades and Hi-Fi Rush. These 2 games are not only colorful and take advantage of that new OLED screen, but they are fun games that you can pick up and play whenever you have time and put it down when you don't. Sometimes I don't want to just rush into PC gaming. Sometimes I want to just pick up my Steam Deck and sit on the couch before I go on to the game. It's like a little warm up. So my tip for all of you, no matter what games you have on your Steam account, really think about the games that you are playing and what's going to be actually good on this device. Now, I also bought Street Fighter to try out the D-pad, and it was amazing. Hadoukens feel satisfying and they are easy to pull off. One area that's really underrated about the Steam Deck is that you can switch between accounts, and my wife has taken over my Steam Deck. She cannot put down the Sea of Stars game, and it looks incredible on this device as well. Sharing is caring, and you'll get more use out of your device if you share with maybe even your friends or your family, if you trust them enough with your device. So if you're on the fence about the Steam Deck and you don't know whether you should pick one up or not, $550, I think this is a great device and one of my favorite devices, if not my favorite pieces of tech from 2023 going into this year. But my advice stands. You got to find the right games that speak to this device. Now, I still play Jedi, I still play Elden Ring, but you know what? Hi-Fi Rush and Hades are just way better, and they pulled me in with this device. And another thing to keep in mind is that they actually have an emulator, a Nintendo emulator, and I believe a PlayStation emulator that you can put onto this and play Nintendo or PlayStation games. Now, I don't know, is that legal? I don't know, but I don't know if I can even be saying that, but you can do it, and I kind of want to try it. Should I make a video on it? Let me know. Like and subscribe so you don't miss that video. If you're on a budget, you can go with the original Steam Deck. I believe it's around the $400 range now, and then you can just go ahead and put in your own hard drive into that and kind of cut some costs there compared to going with the $550 version of this. So I'd only go with the OLED if you need the longer battery life, the bigger, crispier looking screen, and better joystick. In my opinion, I would just save up a little bit more, but I understand if, you know, not everybody can do that, and I think the original one is still a great device in its own right. And you know what, now that I see where I went wrong with the games, I probably would have kept the original as well. So yeah, I do think it is worth the upgrade, but is it completely necessary? No, don't feel bad. All right guys, so it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.